All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tyler Gates, aka TNG Lot 205. It is unofficially hate week in college football. Yes, I said Georgia, Alabama, the most anticipated game of the season, the most anticipated college game of the year, the most anticipated game in the last couple of years coming up because we know, okay, if you are an Alabama fan, if you are a Georgia fan, you know how much this game means to us. But if you are a Georgia fan, more importantly, you know what this game means to us as fans of UGA Bulldogs football. Okay. Nick Saban said this was personal 6 years ago in 2018 when they faced us in the national championship game. Well, doggone it, I take it personal as well. 6 years later, it's even more personal for me. Okay. Because you have this 17-year-old kid over here. He was going to commit to Auburn, right? And you see how he's maneuvering. You see how he's so flashy. Oh, he's the Justin Jefferson of college football. Or, he's this great player. Can we pump the brakes? Can we pump the brakes on Ryan Williams? Okay. Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old sensation. Yes, he's not 18 yet. He's not legalized yet. It's crazy, right? He's supposed to be a junior or senior in high school, and he's balling as a college redshirt freshman, true freshman at that, for the University of Alabama. Now, I'm going to just say you right now, Ryan Williams, 17 years old, obviously their top target at Alabama. There's multiple ways to stop a 17-year-old wide receiver. He's not that legit just yet. There are multiple ways. Multiple ways. You can slow him down if you look at what he does best. It's called film. And here's where I'm about to get into the thick of things for Georgia. Kirby Smart, it's your time. This is your time. Nick Saban had his time. They look at you now as the Nick Saban of college football, even though you never want to compare Alabama to a Georgia person because you know the rivalry there. But at the same time, that's a great comparison, and he would be honored. I guarantee you he is honored to even be in that capsule, to even be up there in those names, right? With Nick Saban and others. Harbaugh, he's up there as one of the greatest college football coaches ever. We've seen it, right? Lane Kiffin up there as well. You have to look at these things per se and to say that Kirby Smart is going to be one of the greatest ever. Is he going to be the greatest ever? There's a good chance. If he goes into Alabama and dominates the way that LSU in the 2019 team with Justin Jefferson, Thaddeus Moss, Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You remember that team? Terrence Marshall. If they can do that, what LSU did in 2019 where they went into Alabama, well known as Saban Field now, and they take down Alabama, something that Georgia hasn't been able to do in the regular season of college since 2007, oh, we're going to do this. Do y'all remember when Matthew Stafford was the quarterback of Georgia? We went into Alabama and beat them. 2 years prior, we had a guy by No Sean Moreno. If you know, you know. No Sean Moreno went in there, head down, every play. They gave the ball to him, head down, boom, hitting people, right? And this is what I say. If we play Bulldog football, we're going to be able to beat Alabama. I have a lot of friends in Alabama, okay? I'm just going to put it out there. I did make a bet. Not money bet. I made a bet that, if they lose, if UGA somehow loses this game, somehow, I will wear an Alabama, anything Alabama. You thought I was going to say jersey, didn't you? You thought I was going to say jersey. Nope. Anything Alabama, I will wear it. Fine. Fine. I had that much confidence in my Georgia Bulldogs because my Georgia Bulldogs are that confident in their fans. So that means we have to give them the same confidence back in us, which means that Kirby Smart has confidence in his team, which means that Kirby Smart has confidence in his players. Don't let me start preaching on here because Georgia is the ultimate team now. Georgia is the team to beat, not Michigan, not Ohio State, definitely not FSU, definitely not. Georgia is the team to beat, not Alabama. Even though Alabama comes number 3 behind, in my opinion, Texas, it should be Georgia number 1, Texas number 2, Alabama number 3 with Miami and others to follow because the biggest threat to us right now my opinion, is the Miami Hurricanes. I don't see Auburn as a threat. If people want to talk about, oh, Auburn, they're going to be so good this year. Y'all can't even be a Division II team. So how are y'all going to beat us? And then Vanderbilt, Vandy, they're making the SEC look bad. How'd you lose to Georgia State? Let's talk about that real fast. How do you lose to Georgia State, Vanderbilt? You're making the SEC look bad. But therefore, stick to baseball. Just stick to baseball. You have some of the greatest baseball players of all time to come through that school. Shall I go through the list? Kamar Rocker to name one. Okay? Mind you, and Dansby Swanson, but mind you, the SEC is where football is played. That's where college football, you come to play. Okay? If you were to put Colorado in the SEC, they would have minimal success, right? But I do believe that Colorado can hang with a team like Alabama. I do believe that Colorado can hang with a team like Georgia. Yes, I will say that most Bulldog fans don't want to say that, but just off of what they have on their team, yes, they may not look complete. They may not look unstoppable. Georgia does not look unstoppable for the first time in a couple years this year. We almost lost to Kentucky. Do you think Kirby Smart let his team rest at all this week? No. You had 2 weeks break. Do you think that he let them rest one bit? He probably did, ice bath, a couple days, right? Had him looking at film on Jalen Miro, had him looking at film on Ryan Williams, had him looking at film on the offensive lineman. I guarantee you, I almost guarantee you, Kirby Smart is not going to lose to Alabama. That's the one team he probably ever refused to lose to. He can lose to LSU, fine. He can lose to Auburn, fine. He can lose to Tennessee, fine. He can lose to Vanderbilt, fine. He can lose to Texas A&M, fine. He can lose to Ole Miss, fine. He can lose to Mississippi State. That's fine too. But if Alabama, he can't lose to them. He doesn't want to lose to them. You want to know why? Because he beat Alabama in the national championship game. Yes, Georgia and Alabama have played each other twice in the big game. We've played each other multiple times throughout the years. From the Herschel Walker era to the era where we're not going to say the 90s about Georgia. We're going to skip over that era. If you know, you know. From the 2000s where we had No Sean Moreno, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Murray in the early 2010s. If you know, you know. Then we had Jake Fromm. You remember that 3-quarterback head monster that we had a couple years ago? Jake Fromm. We had Brock Vandegrift. He's a traitor. If you know, you know. He went to Kentucky because he lost his starting spot to Carson Beck. Then we had Carson Beck. I can go down the list. We had JT Daniels. We had Justin Fields. All of these quarterbacks know what the Alabama rivalry means because they all went to Georgia. Okay? Now, another thing that before I even go into the finalization of this video, Dylan Raiola, we're going to talk about him later, but he flipped his commitment from Georgia to Nebraska. Really? Really? You just didn't want to sit on the bench behind Carson Beck, did you? You didn't want to sit on the bench and learn from a top 5 quarterback in all of college football, who's arguably can go number 1 in the 2025 NFL draft right now. I can guarantee you he could. But is he? That's another video. Coming soon. That's another question that I want y'all to help me answer. And matter of fact, while we're at it, I'm going to answer comments about that specific question. So let me know down below. Alabama, Georgia. This is the rivalry in college football. Yes, you have Ohio State, Michigan. That everybody knows that as the rivalry. No. Georgia, Alabama fans, it's been renewed. We don't like each other. There was a period of time that we could tolerate each other. Now we can't even look at you. But you want to know why? You want to know why, Alabama? You want to know why your fans are the worst fans of college football? You want to know why you almost lost to Auburn? You want to know why you choked in the big games? It's because not only did Nick Saban, right? No, no, no. I'm not even going to talk about Saban. Saban, I'm not even going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about Caleb DeBoer, your head coach, real fast. Caleb DeBoer, you want to know why you went to the national championship game and lost, and then you got hit with the tampering because you were tampering with Alabama? You want to know why? Because you wanted the spotlight. You wanted the glitz, the glamour, the money. You didn't want to stay through the process of Washington, who arguably could win their new conference if everything goes right this season. You wanted to go to Alabama, right? You wanted to all the glitz and glamour. That's what you wanted, and it ain't gonna work for you. Not against Georgia. It may work against LSU. It always is gonna work against Auburn. Always. It never will work against Georgia. I'll tell you that much right now. You're not gonna overshadow Kirby Smart, best coach in college football. You're not gonna overshadow him. Okay, he is a legend in the making, if not already a legend that's just cementing more legacies within his organization. That is the University of Georgia. Alabama, Georgia, hate week. I'm telling you, we got this. Obviously, Georgia's gonna roll into Alabama, Saban Stadium or field, whatever you want to call it, and we're gonna take our mantle and we're gonna go back to old Peach State of Georgia. We're gonna go back to old Georgia. We're gonna go back to Georgia with our mantle, with our flag, and with our dignity and with our pride. We're going to leave it out in that field. I don't care what colors we wear, black, white, red, gray, it doesn't matter. We're going to go out there and we're going to leave it out on the field, right? Carson Beck, you're going to grow a set and you're going to go out there and you're going to perform, right? As the number one overall pick should. You're going to go out there, defense, right? And you're going to stop the ball. Stop the ball. We haven't allowed a team to score on us. Stop the ball. All we got to do is win.